What? The government is hiding things from the public? And worse than that, the military is keeping big secrets? Somebody call the newspapers because we have an impending disaster on our hands. What could be so important that keeping it a total secret from everyone and anyone is necessary for the continued prosperity of a global superpower, huh? Well, maybe the secrets and not so perfect narrative are what keep us all in line in the first place. Who knows? In the meantime, let's talk about the top 10 things the Pentagon is hiding from us. Disclaimer! I have no contacts at the Pentagon, nor do I have any special insight into the government or military. This is all from my brain. So take it with a grain of salt, okay? It might not all be super serious. Let's go. Coming in at number 10, we've got aliens. We're all thinking it. If the government were trying to hide something, it's probably extraterrestrial life. There are so many implications with the arrival of little green men from outer space, so I'm not so sure we could handle it. Especially not after years of pop culture overdrive ensuring that not a single person alive doesn't have a pre-existing notion of visitors from another world. I know we've been doing a lot of alien talk on the channel lately, but it's because they're front of mind right now. UAPs whizzing across the sky left and right, and a Pentagon-produced report on the state of objects that fly and are also hard to identify. Why wouldn't they be hiding aliens if they did indeed exist? So many urban legends stem from this kind of idea, ranging from Area 51 to catch and release brainwashing operations. But what would make aliens worth hiding beyond their initial shock and awe factor? Do they have advanced technology that we don't quite understand yet? Are they trying to take apart all the pieces and fit them back together into a powerful weapon? Are there materials regular humans can't be exposed to? What if aliens had the secret to happy, peaceful, prosperous living for everyone? The military-industrial complex thrives when stuff like that is pushed to the background, so they'd want to keep it a secret for sure. Health and stability isn't profitable after all. Or maybe, and this is crazy I know, but the Pentagon might be trying to protect us from an unknown threat. Wow. Could be that aliens are super hostile and they've picked up some scouts. Can't let them send back messages to the mothership or we're all screwed, you know? A classic conspiracy theory to say the least. Take me to your leader. Coming in at number 9, we've got lizard people. Next in line, we've got another classic History Channel conspiracy theory, lizard people. And we're not talking about the hilariously customizable Soul Calibur characters either, although that would be a fun thing to discover is being hidden from us. Nah, we're talking about the inhuman humanoids that live deep undercover and call all the shots across the world. People in positions of power acting woefully out of line with the interests of the common man? That's not a person at all, it's a lizard! Why do they let them get away with this stuff? It's a really good question. But we average individuals may never know the real answer. Gosh darn. Cold-blooded humanoids replacing every powerful person on Earth seems pretty far-fetched, right? Well, you're correct, but that doesn't stop all sorts of people from falling down the rabbit hole pioneered largely by folks like David Icke, one of the world's most prolific conspiracy theorists. The wonders of the modern world, am I right? How else would you get this kind of idea to spread far and wide? Coming in at number 8, we've got manufactured chaos. Oh boy, jumping from lizard people to some more believable conspiracies, would it really shock you all that much to hear that all sorts of terror and mayhem the Pentagon supposedly fights against is actually put in place by them? It swings back to the military-industrial complex, where the more people believe we need weapons and fighting, the more they'll be willing to pay to keep those dang bad guys at bay. Those dang bad guys. What dang bad guys though? It seems to change all the time. But one thing remains steady, the fact that there are dang bad guys out there and they're doing dang bad stuff. So who can combat all of this ill-defined bad though? The Pentagon! Of course, there will always be people looking to cause a ruckus for one reason or another, so not all chaos is manufactured. But the fact that there is so much chaos means the stuff the Pentagon wants to slide in there from time to time will blend in seamlessly. I can't wait to see who the next scapegoat is and what connections to what large organizations they might have. It'll be a blast. Coming in at number 7, we've got Bigfoot. Back to some more classical conspiracies, Bigfoot is a legendary creature with a whole lot of hair. Good for him, you know? Now, I could take the SCP route and claim that Bigfoot needs to be contained and kept away from everyone thanks to a mimetic kill agent inherent in his DNA, followed by a global conspiracy in which we unknowingly took the world from a super race of humanoid creatures with technology beyond our grasp. But I like the idea that the Pentagon just doesn't want to show us Bigfoot because they're jerks. That's right, the Pentagon is keeping Bigfoot away from us because they don't want us to experience cryptid-based joy. Bunch of monsters if you ask me. Coming in at number 6, we've got contracts. This loops in well with a bunch of other conspiracies, so pick and choose your favorite to go along with it. There has to be some shady business going on at the Pentagon. There's no way that it's all above board. I've watched too many espionage thrillers to believe otherwise. My brain has been rotted to the core by pop culture. How about you? So of course, all sorts of rich and powerful people, who could be lizard people, have deals with the Pentagon, distributing illicit materials, illegal substances, and outrageous ideas to get paid big money. Cash goes a long way when it comes to protecting stuff you don't want the public to know. Coming in number 5, we've got harmful algorithms. How else do you think so many people got radicalized in both directions so fast? The internet is a hellscape at this point, almost guaranteed to be unhealthy for any human brain. Nowadays, all that seems to matter is that every website makes as much money as possible, consequences be damned. We've discovered that the most insane and divisive content possible gets the clicks up, and therefore the ad revenue too. The side effect of making all this money is that people who might not have been inclined to think a certain way about issues are now seeing all this sensationalized crap and losing their goddamn minds. There's no way that the Pentagon hasn't done their best to influence people in the same way. Convince them to see the world their way, and be a good listener to the military overlords. Wild, right? Coming in at number 4, underground laboratories. Dexter's lab was just the start, folks. There's gotta be all sorts of unsavory research going on all across America. Every few decades or so, we get insight into what was happening in the past as stuff gets declassified. This has proven time and time again that all sorts of heinous, amoral activities were going on right under our noses. Experiments upon unwilling subjects, use of substances anyone else would be imprisoned for life for, the works. Underground doesn't just mean subterranean, you know? Coming in at number 3, we've got PSYOPS. Linking back to those algorithms, laboratories, and manufactured instances of chaos, this one should be plain and simple. Folks going around trying to influence people into acting differently while under the guise of an average concerned citizen. Uh-oh. On the internet, it's becoming increasingly difficult to figure out what is real public opinion and what is put together to look convincing. Do people really care about trivial junk, or are those things being touted as cultural tipping points to distract from the real problems? What's more important, wealth inequality or public opinion on Billie Eilish getting cancelled? But what seems to get more traction every time? Coming in at number 2, we've got weapons. Oh boy, with a budget like that, you'd better believe that the Pentagon has some special weapons that nobody knows about. I'm sure they're just waiting for the perfect opportunity to break them out and crack some skulls. Warfare proper is so passé. We're all about these secret crowd control weapons and all sorts of other ingeniously insidious ways to keep folks in their place. Plus, if something worldwide actually happened, you can be sure that the Pentagon would want to inflict as much damage as possible to any perceived enemy. As long as their spokesperson addresses the nation with a smile, we should be good, right? And at number 1, we've got money. Enough said. Well then, hopefully that wasn't too deep down the conspiracy rabbit hole for you folks at home. I barely believed half the words coming out my mouth, to be honest, but hey, all in a day's work, right? Soon enough, I'll end up like Howard W. Campbell Jr. and have to atone for whatever it is people interpret all of this as. Until then, let's have some fun though. So what'd you think of the list? Which Pentagon secret is most convincing? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Are they trying to take apart all the pieces? Folks going around trying to